Welcome, everybody in. It's your host, DM Livingston Sporting News. Let's talk about Subway Series. The New York Mets are getting ready to face the evil Empire New York Yankees in a crosstown rivalry. That's not really a rivalry. You know, it's been 23 years since that Subway Series. It's crazy, yo. 23 years since the Mets and the Yankees squared off in that World Series. And that's what I want to talk about today. I'm not going to talk about the game. Both of these teams stink. We're going nowhere. So let's reflect and reminisce on the good old days. The championship years of those New York Yankees. But I'm here to dispel the myth. Yes, the myth of the legendary kingdom of New York Yankees. The propaganda that I speak of. I'm here to dispel this notion by doing what I only know how to do. Let's deal with facts, reality. So let's start where I love to start, where you have to start with these things in the beginning. Yes. The year was 1913. There is a new baseball team on the scene. They are the New York Yankees. And they are getting ready to go on a string of dominance never seen before in the annals of Major League history. Winning an impossible 18 championships over 25 years between 1923 and 1958. It's to be applauded, except that it's not to be applauded. There were only 8 teams in the American League, so they were better than 7 other teams. How impossibly hard could that had to have been when your team is based in the largest city in the country at that particular time? I digress. So we move. Expansion time. 60s roll around. Everybody's feeling good. Major League Baseball added more teams. They jumped from 8 to 10. The Yankees back-to-back, 61 and 62. Congratulations. But then they went on a little cold spell there. Once they added more teams, it was a good 16 years until the 70s rolled around before they back-to-back, and ironically enough, it was another expansion year. So if you Yankees want to win a championship, wait for an expansion. And then something happened. Something happened that us Met fans know. We know far too real the reality of this. Decades went by. There was no ticker tape parades. New York baseball was dormant. There was nothing. Except the Mets in 86. But outside of that, there was nothing to speak of. The New York Yankees were a debacle. Then there was another expansion. So now we have 14 teams. And then the 90s came, and then the Derek Jeters of the world, and yada, 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 yeah. All of that being said, my point is this. The New York Yankee franchise has been around for 110 years. They boast of 28 championships. I say nonsense. Vast majority of those championships were won against lesser opponents, fewer amounts of teams, in an era that doesn't exist anymore. So what I would say, respectfully, just hold on to those 6 that you had since the 90s. Think of how many franchises have 0 since the 90s. Still commendable, applaudable. Stop boasting with all your banners all over the place. It's distasteful. And no one's going to believe it anymore because I am here to show you all the lights and the propaganda, which is Yankee baseball. Well, it's almost that time for me to get going, get ready to watch this game. As I said, an American League team really has nothing to do with me. Maybe one day we'll have a true Subway Series in the World Series, and I can be there, maybe, in a fantasy world. But one day soon. But until then, everybody, thank you for checking in. Your host, DM Livingston Sporting News. And as always, peace.